People are at least finding it.
Ultimate Derby and Blizzard Bash in Capital City Carnage. Syopa Racing and SyopaRacing.com. Reckless Abandon Derby apparel at RecklessAbandonGear.com. And Derby Inc. magazine. Live it, breathe it, be it, Derby Inc. This is the Crash Course Demolition Derby podcast, recorded live at the FingerLakes1.com studios in downtown Seneca Falls, New York. And now your host, Chris Marquardt.
Good afternoon and welcome to Crash Course Live. Here we are ready to get up and running. Brian's finishing off his last messages. I got the thing to work. Who knew? Brian, absolutely enamored with everything that he's seeing here as it goes through inspection line. Turns out the better part of the state of New York has made the trip out with us. Jeremy Gully, he's in the process of trying to make his way out here. Just heard word that the guys from FTR at the last minute decided they're going to jump in the truck and ride out with Dan Bolton. Dan Bolton's still on the way. I saw Eddie Palak was over there in the inspection line with Mike Riddle. Dave Riddle also, I believe, is on the grounds. Pat Osman. Hank Pensick took his daughter's car through. I saw Hank come through line just a few minutes ago. So
also, or just his
I think he's running compacts.
Really?
Why not?
I thought he was running the wire.
He might. Who knows? He's been known to do crazy things.
Yes. I figured he'd fit right into the Joker Wire class. That was the one I'd heard of he was running. But whatever show, whatever he's in, it will be interesting because Hank only knows one way.
Yes, forward.
Fast.
Forward. Forward.
We survived the trip out.
We did.
I must have done a good job of driving. I soothed, I rocked Chris right to sleep a couple times.
This is, up until right now, this is the most relaxed that I've been going into a show, I think, in a long time, because we don't have the challenges that we have when we have to worry about camera placements and stuff. Basically, we have to set up 2 cameras, that one and this one, so everybody can see what's going on inside the building, and they can look at our lovely faces. Like I said, it was up to this point. We started doing everything live and started chopping up some frames, so I tried to pull the speed down. The video quality that you're probably seeing at home isn't the best.
Yeah.
Especially when you compare it to what we saw last week in Virginia.
Utah.
Where were we? I don't know where we were. Utah.
Hey, you were close. It's in the continental States.
But able to back things down. I think we're okay. We dropped a few frames. If anybody has any messages, feel free to shoot me a message directly. Don't message the Crash Course page. I can't get to it right now. The internet signal here is so slow that I can't even get the Crash Course Facebook page to load. So wish everybody the best that's tuning in at home. I think we got it pretty well squared away, and we're in pretty good shape. We talked a little bit about some of the guys from New York. Pat Osmond making the trip out. Alan McNeil, Father Time, going to be on the grounds as well. Virginia pretty well represented. Josh Wilkins has a car. Now, Josh Wilkins, you've never had a chance to watch him drive. He was on the show when we were down in Woodstock, I believe, and he was the fella that hit so hard that he neglected to take his foot off the gas pedal when he did, and managed to bend his big toe over to the top of his foot. So he's here.
That's impressive. Hopefully the toe's pointing the right way now.
It is. It's been pinned in place.
Nice.
For most of last summer, or wasn't last fall? It would have been. I think it was. He hurt himself last fall, and he's here with the Flat Rock team, which is awesome. It's good to see Kingery making a start out here. They've got some decals. Pennsylvania pretty well represented as well. The Sciopas left about an hour ago, so they're not in any particular rush to get here.
We'll be here in the morning. So it'll definitely gonna be a good show. Pete just went through inspection.
So let's touch on that.
He, from the paper I saw, you only had to change like 2 things, and he was going to be ready.
2
to go.
things.
So yeah.
What paper were you looking at?
There was more than 2 on there.
Yeah.
Maybe it's 2 pages. I'm not sure.
2 was 2 was on the back side of the 3rd sheet.
Well, let's be honest. I mean, Pete coming in knew that he was going to have to change some stuff, but Ohio built. I mean, that's what we built here.
It's one way. It's one way of looking at it.
It's the Ohio build, man. You push the envelope as far as you want to fix, and you got to try it. I mean, if you're coming here to win, you have got to be in a car that's built to win. I mean, you can't come here and half-ass it and win the show.
What I feel like is there was ample research done, because Pete was working at inspection line in years past, so he knew what he could push the envelope on, and he took every opportunity to do so.
I think that probably covers it well.
They would not let us near the car when they were doing the inspection. Early, I could get close to it, but after that, Freebie kind of took me by the shirt sleeve and said, maybe we should go hang out over here and talk a little bit about Sandusky a little. So that was rather telling. It was.
But I guess the bronze wagons have been through once. They're apparently fixing some stuff to come through a second time. I mean, there's definitely cars here that have got their flag already, and it's rare when people can't hear me.
Yeah, I know. It's new to me. So go ahead, try it again.
Check 1 2 1 1. Anybody hearing me? Hello.
Talk right into that.
Hello. 1 2 1 2 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 2. Gotta check the other one.
I don't know. That's the one going in. That's the. Hang on, let me do that so we don't. Do that. Do that. Do that. Try that for a second. Try that one.
1 2 1 1 2 1 2. Anything?
Not yet.
That's not good.
So, last ditch. If we're gonna do this, mic check 1 2. Mic 1 2. So we're gonna do this.
And this is why it's called live television, folks.
this over here.
It wouldn't be fun if it wasn't last minute.
Let's
Cool
slow
thing
down.
right now is I can hear Chris's blood pressure going up. Unfortunately, nobody heard
Actually,
me
it's
say
not.
that.
I'm not doing too bad right now. Pull that out of there. Put that in there. Now try.
Hear me now.
Now try it.
Hello? Can you hear me now?
All right, that looks better. That's yours. That's that one. For some reason, that end wasn't springing in, and I wonder if there's something jamming the wheel.
Could have been something wrong with the Farfignugan.
You don't even know what you're looking at.
A Farfignugan signal right there. Signal? No, that's not signal. Farfignugan symbol.
Symbol?
Symbol.
Where? Show me again.
Farfignugan right there.
That's.
You're probably too young to remember that commercial.
I don't. I don't remember.
Farfignugan.
All right. At least now everybody can hear you.
Terrific.
All right. Well, we've adjusted on the fly. Matt, Joker says everything sounds good. Brandon can't hear him. Otherwise, we're good. Okay. So. Well, anyway, that's how microphones go together. In case anybody wants to do this at home.
Guys, rebuild derby cars. Chris Marquardt, rebuilding the set as we go.
At some point, I'd like to think that we don't have to do that, but never fails.
What fun would it be, though? If we just came here and everything went flawless every time, what fun would it be?
You guys seem to have a lot more fun with it when I thrash a little bit underwater.
We do. It's awesome to watch you work. It's not every day you get to watch a genius at work.
Yeah. Okay. So as you can hear behind us, one of the many compact cars that are here registered for competition pulling up into the inspection line. I saw Shay Sane come through tech inspection and leave tech, along with the other, I'd say, 25 compacts that we've seen come through line that nobody has gotten through.
Very impressive string of compact cars have come through. This is going to be a very highly contested $10,000 to win compact feature.
Which will be Sunday.
Sunday,
They're running
yes.
Heats tonight,
Heats
and then they
tonight.
have all weekend to Band-Aid whatever's left back together.
Do you think there'll be much left for Sunday?
Boy, I don't know. Looking at the way these cars are built, I think that there's going to be stuff left. The guys that qualify, they're going to rise to the top as the best builders and drivers.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
we sort of know that. That's sort of a given. But
Absolutely.
And I know that's sort of oversimplifying things. But what I'm saying is looking at the cars that have come through, there's cars that are very, very well built, that are well within the rules.
Yep.
And there's cars that have kind of built for their county fair.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And they're the ones that are going to have a lot of work to do to get ready for the consolation rounds.
Oh yeah. If there's anything left.
If there's anything left.
Yes.
I think that we're going to be in for a treat tonight.
Oh, no doubt.
DerbyTees.tv is carrying the live stream of all the action on the track. We're kind of hanging out in the wings, doing the vendors row thing, working with Ed Brewster on the RC Derby. Things along those lines. Feel free to stop by and say hi. I think those heats. See, we were talking a little bit earlier on the ride out here, is that nobody's really given the compacts to have a huge venue like this on this type of stage.
No.
And I think those guys are going to grab hold of the steering wheel and go as fast as they can in a straight line in either direction for as long as it will let them go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the thing. I mean, like I've mentioned before, most of the compact shows that I've been to in the last couple of years, they've been very fast-paced, very hard-hitting. I think it's probably even going to pick up more tonight. I mean, big track, a lot of money on the line, very well-built cars. I definitely think that it's going to be a very aggressive night of heats.
Jamie Frost checking in, but he couldn't hear you still. Go ahead and say something again.
Something
Yeah,
again.
I think you're okay. The compact guys, some of them are very, very good drivers. And you're going to see those guys sort of show through as well when they get out there in the heat with the options of trying to qualify. I still think that the pace is going to be a lot faster than what people are somewhat expecting. You know what I mean? I'd like to think that some of these compact guys are going to get a little bit more credit.
Absolutely.
Than what they've been given thus far.
I mean, this is the first 10,000 to win compact show here in the Continental States you've heard of, isn't it?
As far as I can.
I mean, last year
recall,
they had the one in the fall up in Canada.
Mhm.
But I know of, this is the first 10 grand to win compact show in the States. I mean, that's and a great support. The class is full. So I mean, you have to support the promoters when they do something like this for you. So I'm looking forward to it. I mean, we've seen a bunch of AMCs, a bunch of Mustangs.
Yeah. The Mustangs are going to be gnarly.
Yes.
I haven't seen any Camaros yet.
We mentioned the Camaros. The AMCs are going to be very tough also. So I'm really looking forward to the show tonight. It's gonna be kind of cool to get to watch something get wrecked tonight. Usually on Friday nights, it's kind of an inspection night. You know, you kind of get to hang out and shoot the breeze, and I'm sure we'll still do some of that. But it's gonna be fun to watch something get wrecked out there.
We are awaiting the arrival of Serena Brand. She's gonna come and chat with us a little bit about running here, and then I think we're also expecting the arrival of Eddie Palick, who I wanted to see his car inside. That's one of the reasons I thought he was doing up in line, but he's not there yet. He's running out here for the first time, and you've got to see this car. We've seen a lot of Army tribute cars. Mm-hmm. This is one of the neatest color combinations that I've seen. He's got the sand camo and stripes, just long, wispy stripes. He's got a cool looking set of door wraps and a matching sign. It looks real good, and we're going to talk with Eddie a little bit about Too Many, Stop 22, and some of the stuff that he's close with. Eddie's a super good dude from out in the Dunkirk area, so looking forward to catching up with him for a few minutes. I couldn't believe the size of this fairgrounds when we pulled in.
Yeah,
this is way bigger than what I was expecting.
Oh yeah, this is enormous. When we get done here, I'm going to go out and do some walking and kind of check stuff out, because I mean we came in from the road and it looked enormous, and it's looked even bigger now that we've gotten in here. We kind of drove right up to we were brought right up to the inspection, so we haven't inspection building, so we haven't really been out and checked things out. So when we get done here, we're gonna go out and take a walk and see what we can find. And we hope
we go out and walk around. Right now, we don't have wristbands, so they pretty much told us to stay right here at our table.
I'm not worried. I'm gonna say I know Chris Marquardt, and everything will be good from there.
Don't tell anybody that. Nobody here cares about that.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a great weekend. Just some of the cars we've seen come through. We've seen a bunch of Cadillacs. I think Cadillacs are kind of going to the becoming the flavor of the month, so to speak.
The old ironclad.
Yeah,
an old class.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's still going to be hard to beat the wagons.
I would love to see somebody run a 1981 Cadillac in the 80s and newer class.
Yeah, that would be very cool.
I don't think the odds would be in their favor, but no. So Pete Hansen, we just got a question sent in from one of our friends out in Delaware. Wants to know our thoughts on Eric Patterson. Wants to know our thoughts on his opportunities in the Turn Back the Clock class. What do we think?
Pete Hansen's opportunities?
Yeah, what are his chances?
Well, we talked about it on the way out here, and if we're going to be really honest about it, we're going to have to see how the teams are split up. And that, and
now hang on real quick. This isn't a team derby.
No, not at all. But there'll be a lot of politicking done in the pits, and we'll have to see who's running with who, and who's doing what, and who's going where. Pete's got a very good shot, but again, it's hard to beat numbers. So if Pete has some help, then it's going to help Pete, obviously.
Does Ohio work together and clean out Pennsylvania?
We touched on that also.
I think that's a plan that could be on paper to start with, but I don't think that those guys are going to go that route, because you've got so many good cars on the track at one time.
Yeah.
To try and say that you're going to isolate 4 or 5 cars that might be in your heat and take them out as a group, it almost leaves you open for those guys to retaliate. We saw the, for lack of a better term, we call it Utah style, where the piling in. We saw that happen here a couple times now. At Bashford Afternoon, not at Ross County Fairgrounds here in Chillicothe. But we've seen that following in effect, and that can neutralize threats.
Yeah, absolutely.
They can neutralize threats in a hurry.
But I mean, like I said, it'll definitely be interesting. The heats are going to tell a big story. I feel a lot of stuff's going to get kind of sorted out in the heat.
What's the over-under on number of floors in Pete's wagon?
I don't know what you're talking about. But it's going to be very interesting. It's hard to beat the Bruns. I mean, what do they won? 2 or 3 years in a row?
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Very good builders and drivers. There's a lot of good builders and drivers here. So
let's go back to the floors thing. They spent a lot of time looking at the back floor area of his wagon. There was some spray paint in there, and I don't think the issue had to do with how he had run the tailgate down inside, where the tailgate drops down inside the body. They took a lot of time paying attention to drilling and focusing on that. There's a lot of focus put there. A lot of focus put on the spare tire valley, and then the fact that he had plated over the taillight panels. Where the taillights should be an open box in theory, and instead there was, 5x5 square plates over the openings.
But I mean, you got to do it.
Why
I mean,
not?
If you don't, someone else will. So, I mean, the worst thing that happens, you have to burn a little acetylene and cut it out. So,
Did you like his rims?
yeah, the rims are pretty cool.
Yeah, because there was no tire. It was just rims.
Yeah, just rims. Pretty sure that'll be changed for the actual run, but we'll see what's going on. It's awesome. I mean, sitting here looking at these cars and as they're coming through, and definitely wild.
Joker tuning in, letting us know. Good feedback. Thanks, man. Everything looks like it's working. Okay. I am holding my breath and making plans for already when we go over on Vendors Row. We're going to be hanging out with the folks with Big Rock over there. The divers will be hanging out with them most of the weekend. I'm looking forward to that just because I need to brush up on my fishing skills.
Yeah, no doubt. Another caddy pulling up.
Yep. Unfortunately, we don't have as good an angle. That is Eddie right there. Eddie Palick pulling up. You see him pulling up into the inspection line right now. Hood coming off of Eddie's car. Hopefully we'll be catching up with him here in a moment. That's Eddie in the dark blue shirt on the far side of the hood as it's being dropped down onto the ground. Eddie's a guy who is no stranger to driving hard.
No, if you come from that area, you drive hard. That's pretty much how it is. But now you look at a really nice golf cart.
At least it's in focus, I guess. More golf carts.
You know what? I think next year they should run a golf cart heat. I'm going to talk to Tim about that. Golf cart
Fiberglass
heat.
as far as the eye can see.
Hey, I've seen campers do it.
Remember when Josh Buell ran that camper down at Black Rock, well, formerly Black Rock, Outlaw Speedway now, and most of the body fell off, and he was left there with a chair, a steering wheel, the engine block, and transmission, and that was it.
Yeah, that. I was offered to ride to drive one of those campers, and I said, I know they're made out of fiberglass and wood. I think I'm going to watch this one. Glad I did.
Oh, it was fun.
We lost one of your camera mounts on one of the campers, but we got the camera.
It was the camera mount was staying there. We got most of the pieces back. I'm content with most of it.
We got the expensive part.
The important part came home.
Definitely.
We don't know who you're talking about. I think that's Brock, isn't it?
Okay. Take your word for it.
You coming in? No. No. No, I think you guys have put all your eggs in the same basket. Do you guys bring cars? You bring cars or no? No cars? Are you driving or just a camp? Good deal.
I'm pretty sure drinking is high up on the priority list right there.
I think that is number one, second only to finding someplace to sleep.
And if you do enough with the first one, you don't have to worry about the second one.
Todd Height tuning in from home. Todd Height recovering from pretty extensive ankle surgery. They took chunks of his calf muscle and built a tendon to rebuild his ankle. So he's going to be in a cast for a little while. So he won't be derbying likely in the next 6 to 8, possibly 14 months. But the golf cart heat has opened his eyes to a new realm of possibility. Because obviously if Todd came out and ran a Power Wheels heat, everybody would pick on him. But a golf cart heat is just that step above Power Wheels to where he could go run and he might be all right.
Absolutely. We'll talk to Tim about it when he comes around, see if we can convince him to go.
I don't know if we're going to see Tim.
He was in here for a minute, shook our hand, and was right back out the door. So
he was back here for about 15 minutes.
Was he?
Yeah, he was standing on the fender of a black car with blue lightning bolts all over it.
I see.
He was right there with Russ and Fatty.
I see. Then they took off, and
there was a lot of copies of rules being handed around.
And we touched on Pete is good at reading gray areas.
I was particularly impressed when he pulled up from under the front seat of his car a copy of the Bible to swear on and a copy of the dictionary to point out definitions.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Ed Brewster had a heck of a trip trying to get in. Did you hear anything about that?
I did not.
Ed Brewster from Midlothian JMW. He does the RC derbies. He was stuck near Lexington at about 3 o'clock this morning, 2 hours from home. After he had replaced a battery and alternator at home in preparation of leaving, the alternator died, and he drove on the battery as far as the Flying J or whatever it was. And there was an alternator shop, thankfully, across the street. The heavens opened. So he got to sit for 6 hours on the side of the road and wait until they opened. They gave him a new one, and he was back on his way. He should be on the grounds at this point. I haven't heard anything from him to the contrary. But when he gets home, his intentions are to get a new vehicle and turn back in the garbage alternator.
I was going to say throw the alternator through the new parts or through the parts window or parts store window, but Ed's a little more laid back.
He's far more calm about things like that than you.
I see. I've seen pictures that the Tag Clan is on the fairgrounds.
Awesome.
I believe Skinny is also here with them. Sam Bandow is here. Oh boy, here we go. Hey. One of the big bosses is here.
Oh, that's not me.
That's
You gonna, who wants to come in first?
do you want? Is this one working for sure? Because I'll let him have this one.
Hang on, I want to test this one right now. We should be okay. Go ahead. So Russ hanging out here with us here for a little while. What do you think, man?
Oh, good day.
Good day?
Yeah.
Real good day or goodish?
No, it's a real good day.
Yeah.
I just got out of bed, haven't been doing anything. Been easy.
Somebody asked what we thought of Pete Hansen's chances were this weekend. What do you think of Pete Hansen's chances this weekend?
You know, I can't answer that.
Good
I'm not
decision.
letting you guys put me on the spot.
Would you say that Pete has a car that should be able to compete?
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
Yes.
There we go.
Would you say that Pete has a car that should have been loaded?
No. No.
We were going to put him on the spot, Chris, remember?
Actually, no, I'll answer that. It's nowhere near that. I mean, Pete's just like every other car here. He's got a few minor things to fix.
Absolutely.
And, you know.
And that's what we touched on. We said that when you come here, if you're coming to win, you have to push the rules. Because if not, you're not going to have a legitimate shot.
Right.
I mean,
that's anywhere you run. I mean,
absolutely.
Builders, they build cars, and they push everything they can.
Yep.
I mean, there's a line where you know you can't cross it, and when you do, you know, then you have to pay the price for it.
Absolutely.
I mean, we've had one full-size car today get loaded.
One Cadillac, you said, right?
Yep, it was a Cadillac, and then we had one compact car that got loaded.
Yep.
And that's the only two major issues that we've had. Everybody else is, you know.
Just to clarify a little bit what we're looking at in terms of these compact cars, the compact guys have been given a little bit more than what you see at your typical county fair, at least from where we're from.
Oh, absolutely.
Are they in line sort of with what they're allowed to do with the Turn Back the Clock and Bash It class, or are they detuned some from there?
Actually, they're a little bit less than the Turn Back the Clock. They're close to it, but, I mean, they're not. I don't want it to make it sound like the Turn Back the Clock cars are just monsters, because they're basic stock cars with just a few hump plates and solid suspension, things like that. The compacts from last year to this year, we toned the build down a little bit because we knew paying $10,000 was going to get people from all over the country. People aren't used to Ohio rules. It's not ran in the Midwest rules, I should say, that haven't ran here before. So we toned the rules back a little bit, you know, to compensate for that. And, you know, they're not mod cars by far.
Yep.
But, yeah, we give them a little bit of stuff to have them, you know, competitive.
Do you have an estimate of how many cars have come through tech so far today?
Actually, for me, it feels like one.
Just one that never ended.
Good answer.
Yeah, exactly.
Good
It's
answer.
like a train. You know, they're all hooked together. They just, like, glide through.
Absolutely.
We've probably looked at, including compacts, the Near Rat Big Rock class, and the Derby Tees class, we've probably looked at 170 cars already today.
Wow. That's insane.
Is that why you're wearing the glasses, so that you can look at everything extra close?
No, actually, my eye doctor says I'm finally old enough I have to wear them. So
There you go, Joker. You got your answer. I was totally put up to that. But it seems like everything's going, dare I say, almost smoother than last year. We haven't seen a lot of cars leaving with a ton of spray paint on them. It seems like everybody's been playing pretty well within the rules. I guess bronze have been a lot of the focus point too. Some of the questions that we've got. How did their tech inspection go?
it was in line with Pete's.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, all them cars, all the turn back the clock cars have the same little nuances that people do that have to fix. I mean, it's just little stuff that they knew when they did it. They're going to have to, patch and hole, light holes in the body and, simple things like that. And it's nothing major on any of them. It's just a lot of little things that they try to, thinking, they won't notice it.
The Cadillac that was loaded had frame, had seam welded the frame front to back, correct?
Frame and body.
The frame and the body. That would help.
Yeah, that would come in handy to Derby. Yeah.
There's really no fixing that either at this point.
No.
Unless you could just build a new car in the pits. Which we've kind of seen done here.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well,
But to that
what we
extent.
did is 2 weeks ago we had a meeting with everybody that works for us, all the officials, and visit Tim's a whole Sunday, and just went through rules line by line, and I let them talk, give their opinions. I gave them my opinion, and then we came to an agreement then. If it's done like this or this or this, what are we going to do? How are we going to handle it? 99% of the things we came up with ways to fix it, So if we can have a car to where they can fix it to make it equal to everybody else's, or relatively,
Yep.
I'm fine with them fixing it. If we have a car come in that's way overbuilt, that no matter what, when you seam weld a frame, you can't cut that seam out of there
No.
and make it right.
No, you're right.
So there's a few things that if they do, that there's no way to fix it. So,
Yeah.
I've had a couple of the 80s class cars today. They have to go cut their kickers out and relocate them because they've had them in the wrong spot. Things like that. They're out of state. They haven't ran for us before. So,
How about
little
that?
things.
How many inspectors do you actually have here working today?
20.
20.
Yeah.
Wow. That is insane.
Short
We
list.
have 5 in the compact line, and we have 15 divided by the 2 other classes.
That's a lot.
So how many of the guys that are in inspection line right now are going to end up on the track in an hour?
Actually, what we're going to do is the compact line, them guys are going to go work the track tonight. The 2 other lines, they will continue through all weekend looking at them cars.
Wow.
And then starting tomorrow morning, the guys in the compact line, they will come back in and they'll start the other classes for us. And they're pretty well versed in all of our rules.
Chris and I touched the compact class. Looks very impressive. A lot of really nice builds for the compact class.
I've checked a few of them out. I mean, I haven't seen a whole lot of them. I've looked at some earlier this morning. But yeah, they look pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good show. I think they're going to put on a really good show for you guys.
I figured it would be that way when we decided to pay the $10,000 to win this year for them.
On the topic of the compacts, what happened with the guy that loaded?
Actually, it wasn't just one thing. It was a combination of probably 100 things that was just way overbuilt and he couldn't fix it. It had to do something with tying the unibody, I think, in together. So.
Yep.
Here's a question for you. If you weren't promoting here and you were running in the turn back the clock class, what kind of car would you bring?
In the turn back the clock?
If you were driving, what would you bring to run?
I would run a 74 5 or 6 Pontiac wagon.
Pretty good choice. There's a few of them here.
Is that why? That's what the raffle car is every year?
Actually, this year the raffle car is a Buick.
Oh, it's a beautiful.
It's a 75 Buick. Actually, the raffle car ends up being what kind of wagon we can find. When we're ready to start working on it.
We thought you guys just grew them out here because every time we come to Ohio, they don't seem to run out. They just keep bringing these nice wagons in. So we thought maybe you grew them out here somewhere.
We got this year's done. Next year's raffle car is sitting beside Tim's garage right now with the doors welded, the bars in it, and the rear end under it.
Nice.
The body or the car?
The car.
The car, the whole car.
The whole car.
So it's sitting outside the weather to cover up the...
Well, it hasn't been outside long.
Now,
No, actually, the raffle car, you can walk to it and you won't find anything wrong with it. It's built 100% to the rules.
nice.
That went home to New York last
Yeah,
year.
went home to New York. That was nice. He's got. I'm sure a lot of those parts are here this weekend. Sure, there'll be a lot of those parts here this weekend.
You're
Pat's
seeing them.
coming back.
Yes, you'll see them in one shape or another.
Yeah, no kidding. Now, you guys, this is the start of your season. You have this week, and then you have a couple weeks off, and then you start like 60 shows this summer, right?
Well, okay, we have this weekend, and then our next one will be June 25th. And actually, we have 2 that day. So that's a good start to the season.
Tim goes one way, Russ goes the other.
Well, one's down toward the Ohio River, the other one's clear up on Lake Erie. So we're spread apart. And then after that, it's about every day, 2 days after that until October.
And by October, you're sick of Demolition Derby and ready to go back to work building fire trucks.
Usually I'm not, but last year when we finished our fall show in October, like the second weekend of October, I went to one show after that, went and watched one, and then I went to two. I went to one last weekend, it was 2 hours, and I went to Freedom Hall with Tim. And I haven't had no interest in going seeing any.
Well, usually we see you guys at Blizzard Bash. We didn't see you out there last year either.
No, Tim went out. He made the trip out.
Oh, did he?
I couldn't get off work.
Oh, I see.
For me, work is real busy in the wintertime.
Yep. Very.
So I understand you're being paged back to inspection line. What's going on?
What's that?
It looked like Fatty just come over and said they need you over there in the inspection line.
I don't know. I'm hiding from him.
I would,
There's been-
honestly, I would have figured that by I don't know, what's Memorial Day is officially Monday, right?
Yeah.
Usually by Memorial Day you'd be sick of demolition derbies.
Probably for a couple days I will be. But like Monday, we'll get up Monday morning, and we got a lot of work to do around here. Before we even head home. And
Feel like you made the right decision moving it to the Ross County Fairgrounds here in Chillicothe?
yeah.
Yeah.
This
A lot
is
of people.
This size, I can't believe how big this is. This place is huge. I mean, we mentioned when we get done here, I'm going to go out and walk around, but just driving in, it looks enormous.
Yeah, it is. There's 1,400 campsites with water and electric here.
Wow.
It's just a huge fairgrounds. It's a lot nicer facility.
It'll take you guys a little while to outgrow this one.
I don't think we can.
Oh, really?
I don't know. You're doing pretty good year to year, so it.
Well, I was just talking to the guys that working with us today inspecting cars, and they was asking how big can it get, and I was like, car count wise, I think we're about where.
Oh yeah.
'Cause we have 600 pre-registered this year.
Which is still more than last year.
Yeah, and which I'd say probably 500 will show up. I mean, there's going to be dropouts. I understand that, but that's pushing the limit of getting them all inspected to run. And
it's definitely tough on you guys. I mean, your crew, the amount of work your crew does this weekend is just amazing.
we stay pretty busy. I mean, I was here I was in this building until 2:30 this morning, just getting stuff ready and doing Jello shots. And
well, I mean, sometimes you have to relax a little bit. We understand. we may partake in some light at some point this weekend.
Nope. Straight and narrow.
Yeah, that's Chris Marquardt.
well, I'll take his place.
Okay, that's fine.
You want to host here? You're welcome to. You can have it. I'll push the
I know
buttons,
one
you'll
thing
set
is
up.
today I've told myself 4 times I want to change my name and throw my phone away.
Yes.
Yeah, I can understand that. No doubt.
Heard that for sure. Awesome.
Just looking forward to it. I'm ready to see stuff as my my standby statement. Ready to see him start wrecking stuff,
We're
man.
not far away. I mean,
No, we're
only
not.
probably an hour away from stuff getting going on the track. We haven't been up trackside yet. We
No.
got to find where we're supposed to set all this stuff up when we're done here, up on the midway.
Yeah, no
We
kidding.
got to find Vendors Row up with Big Rock. I saw Ed Rooster was just at the fence a little bit ago. He's ready to. He's wondering where I am so that he can start all of the RC stuff. It's like, go without me. Go ahead.
Yeah, no doubt.
Go ahead.
I made it through the Vendors Row this year,
Yeah?
Wow,
but
good
it was
for you.
at 6:30 this morning and nobody was there. So. And I've been here ever since.
Now, when did you actually show up here at the fairgrounds?
I worked yesterday. I
Oh, you
came down
worked?
after work yesterday. Yep. So I got here probably about 6 o'clock last night.
Nice. It must have been kind of nice to not have to get up and go to work this morning. I mean, you've been spending a lot of time. You said you've been pretty busy with at work, so it's been got to be kind of nice to not be at work for a day.
I don't know.
Less headaches there. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, at least at my full-time job, I don't have to get on the ground and up like
That's true. That's
3,000 times a day.
True. That's true.
But
Well, I mean, you're the boss here. You should be. Look, guys, just you get dirty, but unfortunately, I see you're covered in dust from head to toe. And
yeah, it don't work that way.
We got Elvis Thumb with E2 Sliders up in North Dakota. Not Minnesota.
Not Minnesota.
Not Minnesota.
yeah.
He wants to know a little bit about the youth class cars and what you've got in terms of the youth divisions here.
Okay, on the youth class, off the top of my head, I know it's actually a little bit over full. I think we have like 32 entries in that
Yeah.
class.
Wow.
Um,
Those are compact cars, a little bit lighter builds than what the adult
they are
compacts
basically stock. I mean, you can change the front bumper. You can use any any car bumper, factory car bumper, except for 74 to 76 Chevy bumpers or Chrysler pointy bumpers. And we did that because them are the years of the Chevys, and the Chrysler bumpers are the real expensive ones, so we
Yep.
kind of took the cost of it out.
I think it's a great idea.
Other than that, the car is pretty stock. I mean, you can weld the doors shut. Directly can be 5 on, 5 off. No kickers, no protectors. I mean, not a lot of stuff added. And we wanted to keep it simple so the kids could actually do the work themselves.
Right.
A lot of it,
That's a great idea.
you know, to get them interested in it. Because is it really a good thing if the parents are just doing all the work and letting them drive? I mean,
Yeah,
it's
definitely not.
to help them out and teach them some stuff. And
Yep. You touched on the bumpers. We've kind of talked about it, you know, going from different shows in different states. As a promoter, what's your thought of guys running like the square tubing for bumpers?
actually, that is something that me and Tim's been discussing for the last few weeks. Moving forward after this year is something that we're probably just going to go to just the homemade bumpers.
Yeah.
And the reason that is the cost of bumpers is just outrageous.
Yeah.
You know, and for what they want for a 74, 75, 76 Chevy, I mean, you could make 3 or 4 out of square
All that,
tubing
right.
for
All
the
that.
same price. And
I mean, you're only a couple of years older than I am. I mean, people are paying more for bumpers now than we used to pay for cars back in the day.
you know, I can remember when I was young, when we first started messing around with derbies, and back then, it was so long ago, hell, the cars were stock. I mean, you ran the motor that came in them, no
Yep.
stacks,
Yep.
knock the windows out, put some wire on it, and just go junk it. And yeah, you'd buy a whole car for 100 and a half.
Yeah.
You'd run, you'd drive it home.
Oh yeah. I've done that before.
And then,
A lawnmower
that's only
just
been
went-
like 2 weeks ago.
a lawnmower just went by doing 75 miles an hour. Did you see that?
Yeah, he was. I think he had the governor off that one.
There was a compact pacer that just went by here a minute ago that was being pushed by a 4-wheeler, which lends me to think he must have a 360 motor in it and has to be.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some well-built compact motors here this weekend also.
He's got to be pushed there like a sprint car.
Yeah.
You know, with the cost of the cars back in the day, as all of us older people can say,
Absolutely.
we were sitting in here last night talking about it. And, and I brought up, I can remember where you go buy a clean 76 Chevy wagon for $100, drive it home and derby it.
Yep.
Back then, nobody ever imagined you'd see a derby car worth $30,000 or $40,000.
It's insane.
And I have a guy that came down from where I work. He first derby he's ever been to. And I talked to him at work a little bit about it, and he keeps telling me, he goes, they're just junk cars. And I just saw him a little bit ago, and he's just amazed.
Oh yeah.
He goes, I can't believe there's all these cars that's worth at least $20,000 driving around just to wreck them.
Right.
And that's the thing. I mean, until people get up close and look at the time and the money and the energy put into these cars, they unfortunately have that that predisposition about it. And it's sad. I mean, what these guys do is basically engineering. I mean,
Yeah.
when you really get down to it, we have a bunch of engineers here, and it's just incredible. Sorry, boss man. Usually it's not my voice. It's quiet. There's got to be something wrong with the speakers.
That's usually the mic that I'm on because it's the most finicky. Jimmy Crafton sending a message in is do all the rules still apply? Jimmy Crafton, he had a heck of an adventure trying to get to Bash for Cash 2016. Lost the clutch. He got called into work. He ended up having surgery done. So now my understanding is he's running the 80s wire class, and he's trying to get here to be inspected Sunday so that he can still run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Talk about working with a guy.
I mean, if he gets here in time that I can inspect the car before the class, yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
That's awesome.
Tonight, the 5-foot cars, light trucks, and the qualifying heats for the compacts, right?
Actually, the 5-foot class was scratched.
Scratched altogether.
Yeah. We took entries for it. We had, 10 at one time, and then half of them called and switched them to the 80s and newer class, and then they just weren't coming in. And, like me and Tim was saying, we really don't want a class with like 8 cars in it.
Right.
So we just decided to scratch it about a month ago, and, for some reason,
no
that class out here don't work anymore.
And then used cars Youth cars. Somebody's asking. Elvis is asking about the prizes for the youth division. Is there
that?
payout for the youth cars? Is there payout for the youth cars?
For the used cars?
Youth. Kids.
Yeah. It's a 1,000 to win. I don't know what second and third. I haven't paid too much attention to it. I know that for the total event this weekend, the purse is $95,000.
Holy cow. That's not bad.
Nope. Not bad at all. Not bad at all.
Now behind us, this is one of the Braun wagons, right? 231.
Yeah.
Usually they're black. The color threw me off a little bit, but I thought I recognized the number.
I'm still waiting for the one unpainted one to come through. Haven't seen it yet, but I'm waiting.
And you know, I honestly like cars that don't get painted. I just think it looks like more old school derby-ish. You know what I mean? I like the unpainted. You can see the weld burns, all the good stuff. I like that.
For some reason, though, when you get to the Midwest, they think black is a natural color.
Oh yeah,
It's easier to hide.
Ohio color. Ohio.
Well, they say that, but the only thing that makes it easy is spraying white paint over the stuff they have to cut because it really shows up.
yeah, that's for sure. That is
And
for
we've
sure.
looked at 160, 170 cars. Roughly, that's an estimate, and I bet we've already went through probably 15, 16 cans of paint.
Jesus, that's great. Hey,
Cash for cash for the McTrilan.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. They should be a title sponsor. But I mean, that's, you know, and we've touched on it. I mean, if you're going to come out here, you got to build to compete. You know, otherwise you're not going to compete. But I mean, these guys don't. It doesn't bother them to have to fix stuff. I mean, that's
No, they don't argue about
Yep.
it.
Okay.
They'll look at your list. They'll try to sway your opinion.
A little politicking
You know,
here and there. A
yeah.
little politicking.
The famous one for me is I talked to you on the phone, right? And how did I word it? And you know, we go through it, and
Right.
you know, that ain't exactly what you told me on the phone. What I'm looking at right here, but
From the phone conversation to the shop, so things get mixed up a little bit, and then you know, by the time
Well-
they get here, it's a little different.
one thing I've learned when good derby drivers and builders call and ask questions, it's never the question they're asking that they want the answer
Right.
to.
Yeah.
It's something in the vicinity, so you got to stop and really think about it. And,
Yeah.
you know, I have a few drivers that's running this weekend that they'd call and ask the question. I'd say, I'd have to get back with you. So I'd have to sit and think about it for a while and then think of everything within 6 feet of where they was asking me a question about. And then come up with an answer, and
It's almost like you've been doing this a little
a
while.
little bit.
That's great. I like it.
What do you think? Should we get Serena in? She's been standing over there waiting for us. For a little
Absolutely.
bit.
I can jump up and
You wanna-
give her
you
my
wanna jump
spot.
up and
Not a problem.
Send her over. You want to hang out for a while? It's safe here. There's no phone
It is.
calls.
They aren't yelling for me yet. My phone ain't been ringing.
Brian, would you get Serena, please? Thank you. No. Serena! Well, you were shaking your head over there. I thought you were getting upset that we were making you wait. You were dancing?
Somebody had music on. I was dancing.
Serena Brandt coming in to hang out with us for a little while, driving in your first ever Bash for Cash.
I am. I'm excited.
You excited?
Yes, very, very. Just to get to be on the same track. And I know I'm not in the same heat as a lot of these drivers, but some of the big drivers that I've watched for years, to be on the same track as them, it's just pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
What class are you running?
I'm running the stock, just the bone stock.
I
for-
could put you in with them cars.
No, unless I get to drive Kunkel's other car or something. No, I definitely, that would hurt. That would hurt a lot.
How was the build? How's the process of getting the car ready to come here?
Easy. I
Yeah.
hate to put it that way, but our cars, basically all we can do is get a new bumper, which we put an 80s bumper on it. I've got a 98 Lumina, sorry. Put a bumper on it and move the gas tank, windows, and battery. So that was basically it, which that's actually an easier build than what our normal fares are. So,
Sure.
Right.
Now, you talked about in the youth class how they have to put some car bumper, a production car bumper.
Mhm.
What's your thoughts on running a DEC bumper on the front of that? I mean, you had to run an 80s bumper, or could you run a DEC or something else in your class?
I believe it was no DEC bumpers for my class. Am I right?
No, you could rent.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I didn't even know.
But
Oh,
with
sorry.
the DEC bumpers, there can't be the inner bracing put in them, and the ends can't be capped.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But we got an 80s Ford bumper. We're happy with it.
Yeah.
And what that is, a deck bumper, the factory, I mean, just the one he sells doesn't have any of the bracing, the
Doesn't have
caps
the
on it.
gussets
It's
inside.
styled just like an 80s Ford. I
Right.
mean, it's a perfect match to them.
Mine's probably cheaper
Yeah,
than it did. Truthfully, mine was probably cheaper.
Well, that depends where you live.
Oh no.
Right above Pittsburgh. That's
So they probably are a little cheap. Out here, Ford bumpers are starting to get
yeah.
pretty pricey.
Oh.
Good steel ones, yeah.
I think
True. Yeah. 'cause you got
I think
that.
we paid 150 for mine. I think
Yeah.
is what it was. So it's worth it though. I mean, I'd rather have that than the stock bumper on it. So
So what went into the car choice? Running Illumina with the. You said you're running in the 80s stock class.
it's 80s and newer. Yeah.
80s newer. So you're going with that. You're out there against all sorts of different stuff. Why that car versus something else?
Our local fair, you know what? I'm not even going to name the promoter because I'm not a fan. I'm not going to lie. But the way that they run it, you end up running with the bigger cars in the feature, and that's kind of what I'm used to. Like, it doesn't worry me whatsoever. I go after their axles, truthfully. And the smaller cars, I used to be a big car person.
Yes.
I loved my 80s, but the smaller cars, you can maneuver better, I think, and I like the compact cars. I've really started to run them more.
Elvis Thumb is chiming in again. Elvis Thumb, you met Elvis before? Remember meeting him? E2 Sliders. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure you met him at Bash for Cat, or excuse me, at Blizzard Bash here a couple years ago.
Yeah,
When you're out there, he's got a proposal for you, and I want to make sure I read this right. Top 5 in the youth class finish. All 5 names go into a pool, and he draws, and that person that's drawn gets an E2 slider sent to him. What do you think?
okay.
Done. There you go.
You
Just
said
like
that's the youth class?
That's the youth class, yeah.
I'm
If you wanna
excited
go,
to
if you
watch
want to go
that,
swap
too.
divisions real quick.
I might be as tall as some of them, but I'm not. Nah.
I don't know.
The youth, I'm
I've seen a
excited.
couple walking around today. They're pretty short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
those guys, I think it's because they're not hesitant whatsoever. They go run balls to the wall most of the time. I love watching the youth class. It's scary sometimes, but it's a good time.
I had one come in this morning. He, 12, 13, little guy. I don't know, probably 3.5 feet tall for it. I was looking at a car underneath. He bends down, looks at me. He goes, "Do you know what you're doing?"
Wow. I'm just excited to get my little man into the Power Wheels, but
Yeah.
it's a family thing, family affair, and he's not even 2 yet though. So
Is he running or not?
Huh?
Not this year, is he?
no,
I was
no,
gonna
he's
say,
only.
I don't-
He's
don't
only
think he's
what,
ready
21
yet.
months. Well, he knows how to run. Like, we have his tow mater out in the yard, and he goes and plays with it, knows how to hit the buttons and stuff yet. But I don't know what he would do if he actually. I mean, he's been going to derbies since he was 6 weeks old, and yes, I have ear protection for him before I get yelled at by anybody. But he loves it. We've been going down the aisles, car, truck. He's a smart little sucker.
His first word was Impala.
Probably, yeah. Especially with his father, he loves those cars. That's
How is John anyway?
good. I think he's more nervous than I am.
Yeah?
Like, really, that's just how he is. I told him he could run the car if he wanted, but he really likes to watch me run, and I like to watch him run too. But I'm not going to turn down the option of driving. That's sorry, but yeah, he's good. He's excited. We've got some derbies coming up at home, so derby season's just
Where else
started.
are you guys going to run this year? I mean, this is a pretty big branch out for you guys, given that some of the local stuff ended up not coming to fruition, so you ended up coming out here.
Yeah, we have Butler Fair, Butler Farm Show, Lawrence County Fair is doing a derby this year. Big Knob, Hookstown. We still have at least 6-7 local shows even,
Wow.
and we're probably. Well,
That's 1/7 of your schedule, Russ.
Yeah, this year we're going to do, including today, including the 3 shows we're having here, 3 separate days of derbies, we'll do right at 45 shows this year.
wow.
That's so much.
That's amazing. And you guys are awesome too. You guys put on a good show. Like, it's not just crap here, crap there. It's quality.
Well, thank you.
It's,
And we do them this year. We're doing them in Ohio, West Virginia, and Kentucky.
Where'd you pick up in Kentucky?
Boyd County.
Okay. Should be a lot like the Smash It cars.
I'd have to look at the schedule.
Don't even know. That's just every time we go to Kentucky, it's basically they say it's mostly like the Smash It rules, but you know we do some other things, which it's never just a few other things, always a ton of other things, but they get by.
I gotta ask you, Chris, who are you most excited to watch this weekend?
I don't know. You know, we drove all this way with the intention of watching Serena Brand.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
that's-
I know.
There are some surprises on deck for Saturday that I'm really looking forward to. I want to see what Pete does in the wagon, obviously. I want to see Jesse Kunkel go out there. He's a contender for Mad Dog everywhere he goes. He's going to be a ton of fun to watch. Eddie Palick and Pat Osmond, they're going to be guys you want to keep your eyes on. They're folks that we've got to know over the last several years from up at home. AJ Pensek is going to be a ball to watch. She's an absolute weapon when you give her whatever.
AJ, I don't think I've met her.
She's
And I know, you know, Tiffany Hahn. She's running. Oh, I think
Tiffany.
she's running.
yeah.
And I'm excited to watch her.
Tiffany's very, very good here.
Yes. I run with her up in Pennsylvania. And
Mike
she's
Klinger's
just-
a former Mad Dog winner here. He won the Wire class, the Joker class from last year, and got Mad Dog, so he's going to be one to keep your eyes on. Hank Pensick's got a car. Alan McNeil, he's bringing a car for the first time. He just goes in a straight line and then backs it up and hits whatever's in his way. Dan Bolton, Jeremy Gully, those are guys that are come from New York. Jake Sherman
Hey, where's AJ from?
from Dunkirk, New York.
Okay.
It's Hank Pensick's daughter.
I'll have to introduce myself. I like knowing the ladies. We got to stick together. There's not many of us. Well, there's starting to be more, but you know what I mean.
Hank Pensick is one of the most remarkable builders that nobody's really heard of. They've got some stuff that they started to buy now aftermarket, but a lot of the times he would just build whatever they needed. And they'd build Imperials that run out there, and they call it stock. I mean, they plate the Ys on them. It's insane front to back, and it's wild to watch the Imperials that he's built and what they've done. And they run 12, 13, 14 times. Like,
No,
no big deal.
what are they running this weekend? What class?
I think they've got compact cars
Compact?
this weekend.
Cool.
I don't know if they're running in the compact class or if she's going to run in the youth class or he's going to run in the 80s class or what.
How old is she?
She's right on the bubble between running youth and running the adult class. She's run
Cool.
youth here the last couple of years with Shannon Good's daughter.
Yeah, Jesse. Have you heard about his problems? Oh, hold on. Of my understanding, I think they're going to do a complete tranny swap tonight.
For who?
Kunkel. This evening, Jesse.
On that car?
No, not on that one.
On
On
the one out.
on the one still out in the parking lot.
Yikes.
Of my understanding, there's air in there that shouldn't be somewhere. And I don't know if they're doing a complete swap or what they're doing, but I know
Like
there's
it's a pump issue?
Huh?
Like a pump issue?
Air in somewhere is the last thing I heard. Now I know Davey Chapman just got here. Davey
Nick
Chapman
King.
just got here, and he's going to help him out.
You got to go back to work?
Getting yelled at for sitting on the job.
That was Nick King, whose lovely face just popped in there for a moment.
Yeah, he did a wonderful job on the raffle car. Awesome.
You buying
That thing
some tickets
looks
for that?
sick. Of course. Of course, and the big car. Davey Chapman, he hauled out my vehicle for me, my car, and we all said, well, if somebody wins that raffle car, we're stacking cars on the freaking trailer. And we'll crush my car. I don't care. The raffle cars out here look amazing. Buy tickets.
Easy enough to replace Illumina, right?
Hopefully after the show, it's going to be scrap anyhow. But it's bone stock. All the cars in that should be done.
In
Shouldn't
theory.
be able to run afterwards.
In theory, there shouldn't be a whole lot left.
Right. Right.
Okay, I gotta go.
You got to go now?
Yep.
Ross, thanks for hanging out with us for a little while.
I'm sure I'll see you again.
We'll be around all weekend.
Thank you, Russ. I'll see you later.
We'll see you later. And just loose ends being tied up with Elvis about that drawing.
Now, what are they doing?
Uh,
Talking about sliders or something?
yeah.
Cool.
I have made an error that I now need to put everything into a remarkable degree of instability to fix. So, what Elvis is doing, as we hear another one of the motors idling by, Elvis Thumb has stepped up, and for the top 5 finishers in the youth class, what we'll do so that everybody doesn't have to watch me work on the computer, we'll let everybody stare at the window of a pickup truck. That's not going to work. He is going
Oh.
to take the top 5 drivers in the youth class and put them all into a drawing and a hat. And whoever wins that drawing will have a slider drive shaft sent to them courtesy of E2 Sliders.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah, not too bad, right?
Right. Yeah, maybe I will pretend like I'm 15 years old again.
Why not?
No.
Alright,
I'm excited. The weekend hasn't even started yet, and I'm excited. Like, this is getting pumped. Compact's starting, what, an hour and a half, hour? If they start on time, which, no offense, but we rarely ever do at a show
I
this
think they
big.
got a little while. They still got compact cars coming through. The 80s class, the wire class that you're in, they had so many entries that they made a second group, and they probably could have made a third.
Yeah, I'm not in that one.
You're not in the.
No, I'm in the bone stock.
You're in the bone stock.
It is 80s and newer.
Okay.
But there's also the 80s wire class
misunderstood.
too. You're
I
right.
thought you were talking about the
heard
wire
that-
class.
I heard that there was two heats of that. Oh, that sounds sick. Love it. Love the
Is
sound
that
of
Brian
the motor.
Horsley? The gentleman in the 75X was pitted on the wrong side of the barn and had to relocate. So you had a... Yeah.
Because
You don't have
he
a choice.
said So. Nope.
Hey.
You know who else I'm excited to see? I'm going to mess up this last name, and I hope it's even the right name. Number
worry
2
about it.
and number 3, Henley? They were here last year, and they put on a heck of a show.
I don't know.
Number 2 and number 3. I believe they're brothers, and they put on a hell of a show.
Yeah, with the camouflage wraps on the front, they did put on a hell of a show last year.
What's her last name?
I'd have to look on my phone. I
thinking
was
it's
looking at them
Henley,
earlier
and
too.
I'm gonna get yelled at, but yeah.
Yeah, they did put on a show last year.
Yeah, and they're back, and I'm excited.
Yeah, seen they were back. I'm sure Kunkel's gonna do something stupid.
Well, we're hoping. He's got 2
That's what
cars.
I'd say,
He-
yeah.
hopefully the
he's
other
got
one gets
2
fixed.
chances to be stupid.
Well,
Well,
his plan is to go out and have some fun with the one, and then maybe be smart with the other one a little bit.
Also, they're both in the...
He don't
Yeah,
know.
they're
he don't
both
know.
in the
he
same
don't know
class.
smart.
Right.
Sean from Hoffmeister sitting down with us and
Yeah.
making a great entrance.
Yeah, Kunkel run with us out the team show out to Blizzard Bash a few years ago. He's a good guy. He
Right.
runs hard.
Yep.
I like to watch him run.
That's how he got the nickname, Mad Russian.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what. Yeah, he's a heck of a show. I'm hoping he gets that other car fixed though.
Nice
'cause
place
even-
here this year. Everything's nice. Yeah,
It's huge, and I love it. I'm so glad I got a golf cart.
Josh's
Oh.
car looks good. Decker's looks all right.
It's here?
I don't know, on Facebook
Oh.
look good.
I was gonna say, I haven't seen him
I don't
yet.
think
No.
I think he's traveling out. He's leaving early tomorrow morning, driving all day, going through inspection, and then running. And I think after that, I think they're taking it back home.
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
the life of a celebrity.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, actually, this is gonna make. I was thinking if I should take my sunglasses off or not, and I was like, nah. Josh Decker always wears his. I can
Yeah,
wear
yeah.
mine.
There's a major difference between when he wears sunglasses when we're in Topeka and where we are here. Here we're indoors, we're shaded, we can see the computer screen, no problems. When we're in Topeka, in that booth in the hockey rink, they've got these floodlights that are on us to
Yeah.
illuminate the booth enough so that the green screen behind us works. And he has migraine problems, bad.
That's why he
So
wears
he wears the sunglasses because from where we sit, really, we can't see the track that well.
That's
Sometimes
so
I
bright.
like to have a pair of goggles to keep the smoke out of my eyes, man. It gets in there, you can't breathe, man. It's like, holy cow.
Oh, Topeka's not bad.
It's not too bad. Ain't nothing
haven't
like
had any
down to
problems.
Sturgis.
And those guys have been working on fixing their problems
Yeah,
too. They've
yeah.
invested
We're going
some
down
effort.
to run the team show. Did you see?
In
It was all signed
September?
up in
Or
October.
in Sturgis. I'm sorry. I was thinking
Yeah.
of Freedom Hall, another indoor show. that's
Me,
taking
Mike, Chris, and another buddy of ours.
That'd be
So,
fun. How many teams? Did they say how many teams yet?
It was full. I
Was
know
it?
that.
It's pretty high.
There's a
Yeah.
big team show up near our place in July, up in Trumbull.
I know. Ski's got a team. EPR is coming. Team 34.
Oh,
It's
good time.
yeah. We got 268 Impalas and
Nice.
203s. So
68 Impalas, huh?
yep, 2 of them, fresh, clean, ready to go.
Interesting.
All
You
right.
gonna come over and look at that new Chrysler that I'm building?
I do.
You need to come look at it.
Yeah.
It's sweet.
Do you actually have one?
Oil pan cover. I mean, it's just it's
whole
top
thing?
of line now. It's up there with the LS and the Chevy now. I mean, it's
Nice.
yeah, it's sweet. Yeah,
Sorry, I'm just checking out the cars behind
Yeah.
me.
Here,
I
put 'em
love
Then you
Love the
turn around.
sound of the motors. Right, I can sit here and look on the screen.
Yep. That's the Manowski car coming through in the middle of the screen, the black and green car, and then the 53. I'm not sure who that one is.
Some of these engines, it's crazy.
Ground shaking.
Some
Oh,
pretty
yes.
good sounding motors out here.
It's a lot of money out here.
Yeah.
A lot. I was talking to somebody last night, and he said he had 20 G's in his car.
Yeah,
I said,
that's
that's
Oh,
just
that's
right
just-
down that line.
Yeah, you
Right.
can. There's several. He ain't the only one out
Right,
there.
right.
You know, I mean, I got to give props to Chris and Eric, man. Chris built a car for me to go to Evansville to Urban Destruction. I mean, built it for me. I didn't do nothing but sit in the seat to know where the pedals went. And he turned me loose out there, and it was a blast. That new motor they built themselves. We had Gates out of Barry do the machine work, but I'm telling you what, that new 283 is wicked.
So my fiance has a really nice motor.
It's
And he won't let me drive the car. As he's worried I'll break it.
pretty good people I work for. I mean, brand new engine, first run, I got to drive it. They built, the entire car for me. I didn't do nothing really. I think I welded 4 door plates on maybe and put the drive shaft in it. Tightened the lug nut. He said, "Go get them." I was like, "Okay."
Don't twist my
Best
arm,
derby
right?
car, best derby car ever. Just like a beer, what's the best one? A free one. You know. So it was a good time.
Beer.
Yeah,
Speaking of which, I had too much shine last night.
Uh-oh, man. Everybody's making bad decisions on Thursday. Because you
Have
got to
you
get
had
out of here.
plenty to eat?
You got to
While you
get.
been out here.
What's that?
You had plenty to eat while you've been out
We
here?
haven't eaten since we left our house
Well-
at 7:30 this morning.
You know, we're
You need
pretty
food.
accommodating people, the Hoffmeister crew. We're fixing supper across the way over there.
All right.
If you want me to bring you a sandwich,
will be-
I can do that.
Nah, don't worry about the sandwich.
All right.
You
Thank
need to
though.
eat. It's hot. You don't want to pass out.
Well, yeah,
Thanks,
I've
Mom.
been
Thanks, Mom.
keeping
I'll
a lot
get
of
there.
water in me. I don't want to get dehydrated while I'm out here.
Water. I know a lot of
Oh,
water that comes in red cans.
Oh, it's America. It's
For
America.
Memorial Day. It's a Sonny America cans.
I found an America can, bud.
Spirit of 76.
Yeah, same year I was born. That's a good year.
Trying to keep up with where everybody
Keep
was.
up
We got.
on stuff.
See, the thing is we got a bunch of people that want to come on the show, which is great. I love having guests lined up, but this facility is enormous.
So big.
And they get sidetracked doing their thing, or they start. It's Friday at 5:30. They're already through tech inspection. They don't have any pressure anymore, so they start to let loose. And now I got to tell them no. Got to be the mean dad.
Well, I can move, buddy.
No,
anytime.
So what time is it actually?
It is 5:30.
Yeah, my dad actually just got here right before I came over to sit down. So I'm going to go see my pops. This is the first
All right.
time he's been to the Bash for Cash.
You got to
so
go give him
You'll
the tour.
enjoy it.
I'm going to show him
You'll
around.
enjoy
And Rich just pulled in too, Psycho.
Who?
Richie.
Oh, cool.
My cousin. So I'm going to go see them too because
Yep.
we're all running together this weekend. So
Yep.
it'll be fun.
Very good. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Hey, nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you. You have a good derby.
She's running the bone stock class, which I was getting my wires crossed a little bit on the bone stock versus the wire class. She's
Yeah.
running alumina in the bone stock class. I thought
I
she was
see.
running alumina in the 80s wire class, which there are 2 different classes for that.
Yeah. Them Luminas are hard, though, man. They let them build them. I'd go out there. I would. But
For the bone stock, they're
Yeah.
still a good choice.
yeah.
Just go
why
break
not? They're
axles.
cheaper.
Hang a good bumper on the front.
Yep.
She's got a steel 80s Ford bumper on the front that she got for $150.
Ish. Can't beat that, man. Can't beat that.
Which means
Can't build them that cheap.
which
You know.
which factoring $150 in on the nose of the car, she did the car for $200.
Yeah. This little car here's nasty.
Which one's that?
This little. He's got an 8.8 Ford motor. It's cooled underneath that thing.
Now what is
Mustang
that
rear end.
is that an Omni or is it a Spirit?
Spirit.
Hey, Mike DeFreesia.
How we doing?
Mike's on, slide in.
How's it going, Chris?
Another parts builder. How are you? Good to see you.
Good.
Good. Hold this down for a second. Talk amongst yourselves for a second.
All right.
Hey, how's it going?
Mike, I ain't seen you since Mayhem. How you
Yeah,
been, bud?
pretty good, man. I actually wanted to call you. I need some of them wheel centers.
Oh, okay.
Good deal.
That's cool.
What do I owe you on those?
Oh, we'll talk about it when the mics aren't on.
Okay. All right.
Everybody want that
got
price.
me under pressure with these
Yeah,
mics
we,
on.
we know how he treats people.
I know. I noticed as soon as you sat down, you broke out in a sweat. Yeah, we're live right now. I got a bunch of people hanging out with us home. About 75 people or so, according to those numbers. How's it been? How's your trip in?
Good. Good. Wasn't bad. We got a late start. Didn't get here till a little bit late, but
We're here. It's hot.
I'm with Mike. It's hot.
Yeah.
I wish I'd brought the air conditioner for my tent.
I pulled.
I
my
mean, we are at a derby. You can
Yeah.
pull that trick. You know, I've seen it done.
Yeah, I pulled my pop-up tent and it exploded.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
You need
so
one?
I've been
So you-
standing out there in the sun for hours.
I got a easy up in the truck. You want?
That's what I had that exploded.
Yeah, I got another one. You want?
Are you
want
sure?
to- Yeah. You can take it.
I mean, I was just sending the wife to Walmart.
Well, if she goes to Walmart, I need stuff at Walmart too. So your choice.
Yes. Everybody
Well,
needs something from
Give me a
Walmart.
list. She'll grab it for you.
I'll get your
We're
list together.
here.
But
Some nice wagons here, huh?
yeah,
Man.
you learn anything?
Oh, every year we learn something. Every year something new to learn. There's a New Yorker. Guy from New York is what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Matt Gaskin right there.
Yeah.
Car looks pretty good.
Yep, he's a real good builder.
Him and his dad both run, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, that's right.
Has there been much cutting going on, or?
Some. I mean, they've had one. The one Cadillac was welded because his body and his frame were completely seam welded, which you can't do. So he's on the trailer. And there was one compact that loaded up. It was a litany of things sort of combined to the
I
point where he
know.
wasn't
I
going to
know
run.
Harrington loaded up, mistake the rules or something. He's still arguing, but.
Yeah. But
A
for
show like this, you ain't got much choice. Either you're going to do it to what they like, or you're not going to run. And when you got this many people, I think it's the way it should be. I mean, everybody's got the same playing field.
Right. But, you know, really, last year I think that the cars were spending more time in the inspection line. It seems like everybody's moving through a little bit faster. When Russ was with us, he said that everybody with the tech crew got together and had a meeting, and they went through line by line what they were comfortable with, what they weren't comfortable with allowing in terms of what could potentially come outside of the rules, and they had a plan together to fix it already before people got here. So if it's illegal, they stripe it, they tell you this is how to fix it, and off you go. Which isn't
wait,
bad.
I
I
think
mean,
it's working.
That's, yeah. That way everybody's on the same page.
Yeah, and they're
Every
moving
fi-
faster
yeah,
too. Like he
yeah,
said
move
last
along.
year, there was a few cars in line last year, like an hour. I remember standing there watching. It was like, dang.
it was a little intense for a couple of the folks.
Yeah.
A couple of the cars going through. I know the folks with the bronze, they had a little bit of a challenge getting through. They've already been through a second time. The Kingery car went through a couple times. I think Jesse went through relatively smooth. Pete Hansen, obviously, he had to.
I was
He
gonna
had to
say, how about
reevaluate.
You know,
Pete?
here's the thing. You know, as an official, it'd be aggravating. You know, I'm going to give you a couple times, and that, to me, would be...
We're allowed 3.
You know, and then after that, I'm not going to argue with you no more. I mean, we got so many people. I'm going to work with you the best of the ability, you know, but enough's enough. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, if you're not going to do it, put it back on the trailer. You know?
First time through is time through number 1. You get 2 other opportunities after that. After that, you're all done.
I
no
agree
more
with
chances.
that. That's a good
Yeah, I
choice.
agree with that
Yeah,
too. I mean,
you
that's
know,
the way it should
you
be.
can't
Really, you
just
can't
sit
let
there
the
with
same
people
car
for-
come through 5 times.
Yeah.
That's not fair for nobody.
No.
You've never had to come through tech a second time.
No, one time
You
I
show
had
up
one extra
underbuilt
piece of
everywhere you
9-wire.
go. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about
Mike,
that.
you're not the only bud. I went to Evansville, Indiana, and he's like, well, you need these plates. I was like, well, I knew that when I walked up through here. I was like, very often the motor tells you that you're underbuilt, but I've been doing her for a while, and like I said, Chris and them built the car, and I just wanted to run, and we went out there, and 28 cars ended up 10th. The only thing that stopped me was the
I was
startup.
there for that. That was good.
Yes, that old Cadillac thing. Their new motor they built for me. I was pretty proud. They said, here, go run it. I was like, what, you sure? You know, I'm like, you just sunk this much money in it. I know, you know. But if you
My
want me to
my
run it-
motor's actually going to be here tomorrow. They just picked
Who's got that?
Lenny Lewis.
Yeah.
He teched for Bo Lockwood. Yeah, he
He's
called
bringing
me.
your motor out to deliver it, or he's borrowing it.
No, he borrowed it. Yeah, he just picked it up from Brent. It's fresh right out of the shop.
That worked out really well when your motor was borrowed last year.
Yeah. Yeah, he called me a couple days ago and said that his motor had locked up or something. I don't know what the story was, but he needed one in a hurry, so he's running 80s wire class.
That's one thing. There's something for everybody out here to watch.
Yeah.
It don't matter if you're old school to new school. There's a class out here that everybody's going to enjoy
Yeah.
if you're a Derby fan.
Yeah.
And if you're not, you wouldn't be here. So
I think that's why they've had success here too. I mean, the multitude of classes
yeah,
and the location. It's like Ohio. For
This
as
is
long
the-
as I can remember, when I was 15 years old getting into Demolition Derby, it was like Ohio is where all the badasses were,
Yeah.
So it's a good location.
I grew up with Mike Brown, and we derbied at Pike County at Pleasant Hill, and it seemed like everybody was there to kill each other when we run at home. And
I heard that.
And I am not joking. And they're starting to pick the show up. Mike's back from promoting and stuff, and had a good show there. I hope he does well. He's got Griggsville and stuff.
There's
Good.
some absolutely insane footage that's come out of those shows with Mike and the cars that he's built there.
Yeah.
Crazy
impressive.
hard hits I've seen.
Yeah. And then, it was us, like, going to Evansville and stuff. Pull out there with 28 guys. We're used to seeing 9 to 10 cars on the track, and them 7's against you. So it was weird getting to pull out there and just pull out there and not have to take off 100 mile an hour and hit somebody, We
Yeah.
actually got to drive a little bit. And that was fun because didn't know nobody. It had been a long time since I'd run a Derby that I didn't know just everybody or, these guys are together and we're together.
Yes.
And
different.
you build Derby products like I do, so it's like, oh, he's got good stuff, so we better go after him.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys, when you have an event like that, do you go after the out-of-towners first? Does everybody from the state go after the guys from out of state first or out of town first?
No, because they always bring more cars than us.
I mean, in
I
our
guess we need more friends.
It's a numbers game.
We do work for Hoffmeisters. We need more friends. Cars.
in our area, yes. I mean, anytime somebody comes from out of town,
Oh yeah.
whether they bring 1 or 5, it's like we immediately usually jump right on.
Oh
them.
yeah.
You wanna
But
tear-
you
want to tear the Cyopos heads off, but before that, you and the Cyopos are going to work to make sure the guys from Ohio don't win.
Pretty much, yeah.
but here's the thing, we go down there and run. We go out there and kick the shit out of each other and
And
get
then-
out and hand a beer to each other afterwards.
Yes, well, that's the way it should be.
Because we pulled in down there a
It
couple
should be.
years ago, and all this Facebook stuff. It's like, oh, I heard you was coming after us, and we're coming. I'm like, well, I'm not saying I
Sean's
ain't
not a
coming
good
after
enough
you.
driver to tell anybody that he's coming after anyone.
I just did anything that's in my way.
Dan Bolton's like that. He's like, I'll run with you. He backs off the line. The first person he hits or whatever's in front of him, it might be you.
Yeah.
I'm actually anxious to watch him run that wagon.
Yeah.
That thing looks sweet.
It's going to be a lot of fun, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. That's
We
going to be a
talking-
good heat.
We was talking about that Sturgis show in October. Going to be insane, ain't it?
From the teams that I'm hearing that are going to be there and some of the builds I've been seeing, yeah, I think it's going to be pretty.
Hey, are you going to Erie County Fair this year in Sandusky?
Yes.
You doing that team show?
No, we're not running. I'm just going up to
going?
watch. Yeah.
Yeah.
We wanted to run that show. I actually talked to them guys last year, but it's just the protectors and everything.
They asked us if we'd be available to come back this year.
Cool.
I'm pretty sure we're going to go.
Yeah.
Like, there's no question.
It's going to be
Yeah.
a good show.
Yeah, I'm excited
10,000 to
about that.
win.
Yeah.
Casey Smith, Chance Smith, those guys,
Mm-hmm.
they got a team. They're going up. So I'm sure we're going to go up and
Yeah,
watch
that's
them at
gonna be
least.
a lot of fun. And then there's
Oski's going to be wild next weekend.
Yeah.
I can tell you that much.
I gotta tell you, Steve Turlo jumped in to help us out a lot. We were trying to get our wireless microphone program up on his feet. We're gonna be, we've been saying thank you to him at all of our live events. Steve Turlo with June 10th and 11th is the T-Bone Tony Atchison Memorial Show. That's gonna be a good show.
It's going
And
to be a good one. I'm
and-
telling you right now.
then on top of that, we've got
They will be standing on it, all of them. Just not one team. They will all be standing on them. I will guarantee you that.
Are you coming up to Caledonia in July?
I'm not sure yet.
That's a guess.
Yeah, probably. If it's with Dunkirk for sure. You guys turned me into a fan up there the last 3 years.
We're trying to turn everybody into fans. We're
I tell
pretty sure we're gonna
everybody
be
to
live
go up
streaming
there.
it.
I never went up there. All my life I heard about this Dunkirk. And I never went up and watched it till a few years ago. And I'm going to tell you what. Yeah, they like to hit and get it done fast.
Bunch of those guys are here.
Come out further east towards your area and stuff sometime too. I'm sure we get an order. We'll be out that way.
There's a couple
I
of
know
them
we
to pick
went
from.
seen him in Minnesota over the winter, and it was cold, wasn't it,
It was
buddy?
chilly.
Yeah.
We had all sorts of tech problems. Stuff was
Yeah,
falling apart like crazy.
he's
'cause it was
like-
so
From the
cold.
cold.
He wasn't the happiest camper, but I said hi anyhow.
So he's-
I was glad to go home too, though. I will agree. I was
Time to
like,
get back to the
oh,
hotel and warm up.
yeah.
I'm ready to go to a hotel to cool down here.
Got a couple more of our folks that are, and they've left. So I guess that doesn't matter. Don't worry
Well,
about it.
Chris, I'm gonna go get a sandwich, and I'll
All right.
stop back in and check without the weekend, bud.
All right, man,
Stop
we'll
over
see you.
and see that.
Always good to see you.
Stop and see that Mopar, bud. It's
We
sweet.
sure will. I'll be
Stop and
over.
see that one that's all painted
Is it up in Vendors Row or is it over here in the camper?
behind you right now. If you look out your back door, you can't miss the big white one all put together.
Okay, great.
Got a full 1-inch screen.
Oh, I was just out there checking that out. Very nice.
I'll be in touch. Sounds like I want that cradle. Sounds like I'm gonna be spending some money before the weekend's over.
There's beach walking.
Before. See you later. There goes Sean. He'll be having a ball all weekend. Sean from Offmeister. He's such a character.
Yeah, he is. We have been hanging out with him last couple of years out of Metal Mayhem, and he's definitely a character.
You'll find trouble.
Yeah, he
Trouble will
likes
find
to
you,
have
either
fun.
or.
Yeah, he likes to have fun. A lot of these guys out here do.
It's good. So those decals, what you wanted?
Yes, looks perfect.
Awesome.
I'm gonna go load them up on everybody's cars now. Got a bunch of guys running wire class, and Josh and all them guys.
I hope I got you the ones that you wanted.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted.
Those were a little bit smaller, like you said, right?
Yeah, I actually think it looks better.
Okay.
You're correct, and I need to get more, but
I got.
one
Get
thing at
them
a
made.
time for me
Yep.
right now.
Exactly, one thing at a time. I'll get up with you later on. Put your wallet away. We're live. It's not time for
Oh,
that.
are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
Still.
Yes.
Man, why you gotta do this to me? I never know with you.
Basically, if this is up in front of us,
You're live.
we're live.
What's going on, Chris Marquardt?
Well, Mike's making me really uncomfortable.
I was trying to give him money and it made
He
him
was.
uncomfortable. I don't know, I
I had
guess.
to tell him.
Man, I always take free money.
Well, it wasn't free,
Oh, okay.
but still.
New Yorker going through the inspection line. Matt
I
Gaskin.
know, that's what I just said. I like that car. I just did a walk around on it. That thing's built pretty nice.
Yeah, they did a very nice job building that car. What do you think, Chris Marquardt?
I'm looking for the message. I'm trying to answer Mike's question.
Oh, I missed
He's
it.
because I already answered it once before.
I know.
Make sure.
Now you're making me uncomfortable, Chris.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep.
Okay, good deal.
All right. So now that we got all that awkwardness over with, how's the inspection going?
Pretty good, pretty good. Matt Gaskin's over going through his first time inspection for Bash for Cash. I walked up, I said, this is the least nervous you should ever be for a show. I don't know about that. And I said, it's not your hometown. I said, hometown, you get nervous, man. You got to run in front of everybody. I said, out here, just have fun. Yeah, I guess you might be right. So, really nice car. Did a great job building it. I was actually standing watching the inspection with his dad, and his dad was busting his chops pretty good. So that's always funny.
Definitely some nasty cars here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's some really nice iron.
Man. A lot of wagons. Seems like more wagons than last year. I don't know if it's...
I think
Wagons
they grow
and
them out
caddies.
here, man. I think they grow them.
Yeah, you should try burying one in your side yard and see what
We're all in
happens.
trouble.
Yes, sir.
I gotta say hi to Joker. I know he's not gonna make it up to this weekend, but we appreciate everything he's done. Derby Tees, Deck Headers, and Nearat and Big Rock. I had to say that.
There you go.
And a special thing. There's a couple guys over in Afghanistan serving in the military watching on live stream this weekend. So So I
Very
wanted to say
cool.
hi to them too.
Absolutely, very cool.
Now I'll leave you guys alone.
Thanks,
I gotta
boss
go
man.
back to work.
You're
And
the
then
boss. You can't be in trouble, remember? Oh, okay.
a couple other folks that are helping make this show possible that have stepped in on a different angle with the RC stuff. Catskill Fab and Performance, HLK, Derby, DK Derby Tire. DK Derby Tire is raffling off a set of tires instead of doing what typically is done with just donating money into the RC Derby. They gave us a set of tires to raffle off, and all that money's going to go into the purse. So we'll be able to pay that back a little bit deeper. And Catskill Fab and Performance, they're involved. Derby T is involved with that as well, with some vouchers for apparel, $100 gift certificate to Big Rock Products, Boca Bearing, JMW. It's been a lot of fun. And they got heats that are ready to take off here tonight. I thought that Ed was going to come on the show with us here for a little while, but they're in the process of setting up a track.
Oh yeah, that track looks big. I was just out there looking at it.
Pretty
Yeah,
They went
I
for
would
the-
say so.
They went great guns.
What is it? Just compacts tonight? Heats?
Compacts and light trucks, I believe. The
Oh,
5-foot
okay.
class was scratched.
I heard rumor there was 2 80s wire class heats, 60 cars.
Yeah, and they could have
Wow.
probably done a third.
That's
Wow.
insane.
That
Absolutely.
kind
And I
of
bet
says
there's
something.
3 next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
no
says
doubt.
something though. I like that.
We gotta
Guys
find
like-
we gotta find Tim and talk about the golf cart and the combine demos for next year. I think
we'll
they
get
would
ahold of
both be great additions to Bash for Cash.
We've been going for an hour and a half already. Everybody's been hanging out with us. We're getting pretty close, I believe, to start time tonight. I gotta find that.
Yeah, I should probably go get back to work myself.
yes.
I appreciate these, Chris. And I'll catch up with you here.
All right. Yeah,
before
we'll
night's over.
be wrapping up here in 15, 20
All right.
minutes or so. We'll find you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks
easy,
again,
man,
Mike.
Mike.
We'll see you later on.
What do you think, Chris?
Oh, I think it's freaking full. I can't get over what we got here. You know, the cars are going through relatively plain colored. You know what I mean? They're not having a bunch of stuff being changed. Everybody built within the rules and what was suggested. So I like it.
Yeah, definitely seems to be going pretty smooth so far. Just looking forward to tomorrow so we can see the stuff going.
We'll be able to see a little bit
A
tonight.
little bit tonight, definitely. Like I said, I think the Compact's gonna put on a great show tonight.
You see a couple more cars pulling up into inspection line. The middle line is a little bit of retech going on. I think there's 4 active lines over there, depending on where people pull up into. Matt Gaskin Sr. pulling up. You got a car here this year, Matt?
Yeah, I got an 80s wire, yeah.
Yeah, I thought I saw the roof sign on the way down the interstate on,
did
on
you?
one of the
Fast?
off ramps. Yeah, I thought that was your car.
Yeah, I got to keep that rat. Matthew made it for me when he was back in Bosie's, and I just don't want to spend the money, and it's more for me than it is,
Right.
so.
There's no way that anybody's gonna replace the rat.
No. I've been called the water rat I've been working for the Water Authority for 26 years now, so.
Wow.
So.
Excited
but,
about this?
I'm very excited. I was very excited for the kid. We made it through inspection. We got to do a few things, but
Nothing major?
a little bit.
Yeah.
But nothing we can't fix. And if you don't come here and you don't get something on your car, you're underbuilt. So.
Right. Probably true.
Absolutely. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We came down with Butch Cisco. He couldn't drive over 65 mile an hour with his age.
Yeah.
It was tough keeping ahead of him, but yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That's
We're having a
cool.
good time already, and it'll be a good weekend, I think.
Did you already bring your car through line yet or no?
No, I don't. I don't inspect
You
my
don't
car.
have time
till-
at all.
I was just talking with Russ for a little bit. The inspection for the 80s wire is 5:30 to 7:30 tomorrow, and I want to see the boy run.
Right.
So I might be inspecting Sunday, so my car can just sit there. It's all good, ready to go.
What bumpers on it?
Ford.
Yeah.
Ford on a GM. I brought a GM.
Right.
That's all I like running. for the 80s, for, that style build. That's what I like.
Sure.
So I don't know.
And what year did you say it was? An 81?
It's 84 Olds
84.
Delta 88. Yeah. Got it through. I helped Butch and Jim Cisco, and they actually just gave me the car.
Right.
As a little appreciation for helping them out. And I want to run with Butch. And there's actually going to be 2 heats of the
Right.
wire class this year. And Butch and I drew the same heat, so
Nice.
that'll be good. A couple local boys running together.
Excellent. Yeah, you see Butch a lot running in your home area.
Oh yeah, I built the GM cars anyway. I've built Butch's cars the last couple years,
Yeah.
and they've done well. I got to fix his King's old school car up. I don't know if he's going to run it there or where he's going to run it, but we're going to fix it back up, and he's going to run it again. He actually ran it in North Carolina State Fair.
Oh,
Should have
really?
won it till the trainee blew out,
Oh no.
but did real good. So
How about Caledonia? Caledonia Crash and Jam Festival moved up middle of July. You gonna go there or no?
I'm not.
No.
I have a couple cars for Hemlock, and
Nice.
I'm getting a little older.
You got to slow down at some point.
Well,
You do 25 derbies a year.
my wife and I actually went out and bought a camper, so I've been derbying since I was 16. I'm 47 now, so it's time to spend a little time with her, you know.
Hook the truck to the camper. Hook the trailer behind the camper, and you can camp at the derbies. This writes itself.
We've been trying to get her. The first couple years we came down here, Matthew said she wasn't allowed. It's a father-son deal.
Oh boy.
So
Oh boy.
we tried talking her into it this year, and she just said no. She's gonna stay home. But but she's put up a lot with over the years. She's gone. She was telling us that just the other day, it's gone from May, June, July, a little bit of August and September
January through
to
December.
the end of deer season. December, there's a car in the garage, and
Yep.
and she's got part of the garage, and we usually kick her out come early January, February. So it's tough. I need a new garage, but she understands, and she has a lot of fun with it.
That's good.
She's,
That's good. It's good when the boss is okay with things like that.
Well, as long as I spend my own money and it doesn't come out of the house check, it's good.
Absolutely. Yep. That's how I am.
But yeah, she's put up with a lot over the years. So
When Matt wins, it's a nice start on a new shop.
really, he won Hemlock twice.
And that paid for the new shop?
No,
Oh.
but he won quite a bit of money with the old man's motor training knowledge, and but it went into this car.
Right, so now when he wins this, it's
Then
a
he
nice
win-
start on a van.
It
and
would-
a nice new shop.
Maybe his own property. A good down payment on a good.
Absolutely.
Like any one of us junkies that are in the derby world, he's probably going to go buy more parts.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Pay his
Parts of
truck
cars.
off maybe and go buy more
I don't know
parts.
why you're thinking that anything else other than that would happen.
I'm no fool. I've been around here a long time. So, but yeah, this facility is big.
Yes.
I just wish when you got off, like we came down 23, I wish they had a little few more signs. I mean, we were a little lost coming down here, but we found it. And
Your kid doesn't have a
this is-
smartphone?
I don't.
Oh, your
I got
kid
the old
doesn't-
flip, baby.
Your kid doesn't have one? You
He
couldn't-
does, but he came down first thing this morning with a bunch of the other guys, and I came with Butch because we can only drive so fast. But I came down with Butch just to make sure that he would get down here all right. And but what a huge.
Yeah, this place is
Difference.
giant. Yeah.
But I bet you the guys wished it was still concrete like the old place.
I don't know.
I don't know if they do.
Tore them up pretty good.
Oh.
Out of them cars for hours.
Yeah, I see they got quite a bit of cardboard underneath there.
Let's just keep the dust down.
We brought some new guys that are board members of our local fair. I brought them down with me, and already their eyes are like, wow.
Oh yeah.
New York is so far behind, in my opinion.
But you don't go from Hemlock to this
No.
overnight in 2 years, 3 years.
no,
It takes
no.
you got to go slow.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, you're going to ruin your own local support.
Absolutely.
If you go to overbuilt stuff, it's going to ruin the local support.
But if you brought in one class of maybe 10 to 20 cars as a show, and we're able to throw the money to it, make $100 an entry fee and full payback for first and second, and maybe the fair kick in a little bit.
Right.
Because people up at home, I mean, these guys that I brought down are just in awe. I
Right.
mean, they've never seen anything like this, and our local fair board has absolutely never seen anything like this.
Right.
And we've been kind of talking to them about it, but it's going to take time. But up home, you see a difference now. Everything's going back to stock classes. The older school.
Right,
But still, now you got to find that older car.
right.
So it's kind of a pain, little give and take. But Hemlock's come along. They finally changed the rules. You don't have to have a boat tank and a 4 or 6 cylinder anymore. We finally talked them out of it. And last year they had a record number of cars.
Right.
And Hemlock was always huge numbers. and they finally got numbers back, especially in the small car era,
That's awesome.
because it's so easy to build those cars, and they're more safer, in my opinion, with the pressure in the gas tanks. You
Sure.
know,
Yep.
so I applaud them guys for actually listening to the drivers, and I think we're one of the last ones that had boat tanks still in a small car. So we'll see. Hopefully, the big cars are going away, and that's all I like to run.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. Big cars doesn't seem like they're going anywhere.
well, no, in Hemlock, in Hemlock.
Yes, I'll go with you there.
Yeah.
I'll go with you there.
No, the big cars they're still around every place else, but it seems like our numbers are dwindling, and the little cars are getting bigger.
Absolutely. That's definitely, it seems to be the theme of home.
Trying to keep up with everybody online. See Jason Shipe hanging out. You gonna come and sit down?
Hey,
I'm not kicking you out.
no,
I'm
no,
kicking you out.
Yeah, I know. I'll take off.
I actually want to go back because
Okay.
I got to
All
help him get things done so he can get back through, if you don't mind.
Very well.
And,
All right. Matt,
have
always
Matthew
good to
back
see
there.
you.
Hey guys, we'll see
Thanks.
you later.
So where'd Brian go? Brian, come. Where'd Brian end up? Brian. All right, so he's taking some stuff. Jason Scheidt with Chaos in the Valley, also the Shenandoah County Fair in Woodstock, coming and sitting down with us for a little bit. I see some of your drivers are up here. I saw the Kibblers.
Oh yeah, got the
Kingers
Kingers
are
up
here?
Got Kingers up here. We got Josh Wilkins, Matt Davidson made the trip up here.
Matt Davidson is running, I assume, Illumina.
What's that?
What's Matt running?
Aluminum.
Yeah, somebody's in trouble. He's a lot of fun to watch run.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Oh, yeah.
very, very good. Taking a lot of money out of the Shenandoah County Fairgrounds.
In the last couple of years, yes, he has.
So how's everything going with you guys?
Pretty good. We're getting everything started up, getting it rolling, getting tying up loose ends, I should say.
Yeah, yep. There's a couple little things that you guys had to tweak from last year, but I think the decision that you made at the Shenandoah County Fair in Woodstock on Tuesday night, when you only had about 8 or 10 big cars, to flip things around, pool the 4 and 6 cylinder standalones together, let them run heats, let them run a feature for a little bit more money than they were accustomed to, and put the big cars out there at the end, and convincing the fair board to go along with you was one of the best decisions that was made, and it is going to pay off for you this year. I'm sure of it. You know, those compacts, they need to have a chance to get in the limelight. I mean, we see it here this weekend with the 10,000 win show for those compacts. Obviously, you're not putting 10 grand on the line at the fair, but still, to give those guys that extra little bit of time on the track and give them the option of doing something that they've been asking for so desperately for the last. I've been down there 4 years, and every year I've been there, they've been saying that.
Oh yeah, they you know, that's like when we started up with Chaos in the Valley. I said, you know what, if I can get the first year, I said, you know, didn't know what it was going to be like. I said, if we get 20 cars, we'll do a heat and feature. We showed up 40 cars deep the first year, and last year we were the same way. And you know, I guarantee 1,500 for them, and I think the first place last year, because we do 100% payback, I think the first place was $2,000. It was 1,000 per second, I believe it was. I mean, and they love it. I mean, there's the compact guys love it.
Right. You know, we were talking about how there's at some point, are we ever going to see a derby where it's X amount of money to start for everybody in the feature and the money only goes to the Mad Dog? That's the place it would work.
Absolutely. No
A
doubt.
few changes this year. The track's been moved. The track has been moved this year.
What do you mean?
They've come in and put a bigger horse arena in, or horse track in. The track that we originally ran on, the stage and all that is gone. They've tore it down. The new track is just, there will be a Jersey wall, and then the Derby track will be 70 feet wider than what it was originally, and 200 feet long.
Wow.
It's going to be clay because, you know, it's a tractor pulling track, and you know, we're trying. I'm trying.
Yes.
I'm still trying to get stone on it, but you know,
Now, why do you want the stone?
it's just so much better traction. I mean, you can run on that track down there. I ran.
Just don't water the hell out of it, and the clay's going to be fine.
Right, and that's what I'm not going to do. I don't like water. I don't like wet tracks. You know, I ran when Hurricane Katrina come through. I ran that in that night, and it was raining all it could rain, and you know, you could get around with no problem. You know, but like I said, it's going to be clay this year, but it's still going to be a good track. It's going to be a tractor pulling track. So, you know, keep the dust down, and that's it. If I do that,
You're going to let us do the fair live this year?
yes, we'll try.
And we're definitely doing Chaos in the Fair live,
Oh
right?
yeah.
So, are we going to be able to sit close enough to have Everson flip a car on our laps?
What it is they've you know how before you couldn't sit on down on the concrete? You go all the way down on the concrete
during the
now.
fair, during
Yeah,
the fair you couldn't. During Chaos in the Valley, it was enter at your own risk, and we
Yeah.
decided to risk.
And they're painting it out. I mean, and everything, like in the fair side, like we do in Chaos, it's all pit. That's
Right.
what they're going to do at the fair this year. It's all pit. You know, so they're getting more grandstands, and you know they just started, of course, with the rain we've had here, the monsoon. It seems like we've had. They just haven't had the chance to get it started on, but they're starting on the track now. So yeah, everything's going to be totally different down there, but it's going to be good. I've been telling all the drivers, you know, they're like, oh, we're changing the track. I said, you know, it's going to be good. I mean, it's going to be better lighting, the whole nine, better sound systems, everything.
Did you open your banner up?
Yes.
Was everything spelled right?
It's hanging off. It's hanging off the tent out here.
Excellent. They just picked up an 8-foot Chaos in the Valley banner
Sweet.
today.
Sweet.
They messaged me and said, we want a banner. We're going to pick it up at Bash for Cash. They ordered it on Wednesday.
This Wednesday, like 2 days ago.
It was pretty quick turnaround.
Yeah, we're.
I'm like, I don't know. I'm certainly going to try. So we got the order put in, and
Here it is.
I greatly appreciate that.
FedEx finally didn't fuck it up.
They didn't drop it on any planes or anything on the way here.
I don't care. If they dropped it out of the plane, it landed on my front lawn. It was fine.
Perfect
Perfect.
was good, huh? As long as you didn't knock the windshield out of your Newport.
Never thought about that. Could have been bad.
Could have been bad.
Could have been bad.
But yeah, we got to hang it up over in the pit. So
Sean Gokenauer decided to get away from ethanol and just run a car plane yet?
I haven't heard.
No.
I haven't heard. He was coming up here to run, and just things got tied up. He couldn't get to it, so I actually snagged his hotel room. So
Nice.
So yeah,
There's a lot of checkers being played with rooms right now.
Yeah,
Man,
definitely.
everybody's ending up in different places.
That's like Kingery. He went out. He's got a guard motor now. He set himself up as winner.
I hope he goes out there and drives like he typically drives.
Yeah.
You know?
I think he will.
He's going to go wide open because he's a guy. You know, he's completely under the radar. I don't think anybody here is expecting anything out of him. And he is very adaptable. He's sneaky adaptable. Like if you want to go out and you want to run hard, he'll go nose to nose all night, and his stuff will hold up. But if the pace is one of those where it gets sleepy and slow, he's very readily to just ease back, let off it, and blend in. And he painted his car Ohio black.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. He put the engine and stuff in my shop, and anything that leaves my shop's got to be black. So
That's not true. That's not true at all. You guys ran silver cars forever.
a few. But no, he set up. I'm really proud of him because he went from a little kid coming up, building with us, and learning what we did, and then has taken a step further.
Any other little kids building cars out of your shop this year?
Couple. Yep.
Are they going to go the way of the Granada ever again?
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure on that. That's like little Jesse Bly. He's up here with us, and then
That was
he
his
won the
first derby.
Woodstock at the fair Tuesday night was his very first derby, and he won it. So he's hooked.
Yeah, you win your first one out. It's bad because you're hooked for life, man. There's no hope of.
It took me several years before I get a win or even a trophy for that matter, but I stuck in there. But he was the first one out. Yeah, I just now this week actually stripped everything out of his car, and I said it's time to get rid of it. It's done.
Did you at least give him the shell so you can put it back in the front lawn?
He took the keys out. That's what he wanted. All he wanted was the keys out of it. So
Yeah.
he took the keys.
Remember when you used to use keys to start your cars?
I do.
Last summer?
Yep, last summer. I used to actually leave them in the ignition just to play with people's minds in it. Now I have a young man taking stuff out. Everything gets stripped out of my cars. There isn't much left in there anymore.
With a screwdriver?
Whatever it takes
Real
to get it
careful,
apart. Whatever it takes, man. He gets it out. It's funny though.
Jesse's.
He's talking about wanting to keep the shell. The first and only time I won my hometown fair, I brought my car home and parked it in the front yard and left it there for a while. So I can understand. You got to show that stuff.
Josh
off for a
did that
while.
with the Rosa car.
Absolutely.
He said,
And the worst part is, when back in the day, we used to get done at Waterloo, and it was 1 o'clock in the morning. So I brought it home.
Stuff
It was the
dead.
Imperial, and unloaded it with a broken axle, and I had to stand on it to get it out in the yard at the dew with one tire spinning and dragging. Thankfully, the neighbors are heavy sleepers.
Yeah, I've had a few of those neighbors. It's kind of like, well, you got, or or come home from a show and be like, there's another one next night, and you're like, well, this one's trash. Let's go up here in the fence and see what we got. And you know, well, that one just needs this and that, and we'll drag it out of there, you know, running at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I had some forgiving neighbors and some unforgiving neighbors.
But the difference, where he lives, it's cornfields and cell phone towers. Where you live, the motors echo off the mountains forever.
Yeah, it's like I got a new neighbor this year, and we was trying out Kingery's motor for the first time, and I mean, he was just, you know, up in the back, just turning it up, and my neighbor coming out, I was like, well, here we go, and he was like, I love it, keep doing it.
Yeah, that cool. Definitely, we've done that before.
Trying to keep up with everybody.
Well, I better get back over here.
Let me ask him one question. Hang on.
All right.
Jason, I got all those guys taken care of, but I'm glad to see you. Glad you came up.
Yeah, we decided we'd come. I said, I even brought the wife up here. She's
this is
first big show she's been.
And she is kicking and screaming that you're not in Ocean City, I'm sure.
Exactly. She wanted to go to Ocean City. I got her up here instead.
Awesome. Well, good seeing you. I will see you through the weekend for sure. Thank you again. Appreciate it.
Have a good one.
We sure will. There goes Jason Shipe, JPG Towing, host of Chaos in the Valley. So we talked about Freedom Hall and going out there in September. We talked about going back to Blizzard Bash again and what we're going to see there with some of the teams, some of the other team shows that are coming up. We talked about Oskaloosa. We talked about Chaos in the Valley. We've talked about the cars and all the work's being done in the pits. Something has happened with the line, like either the cars came through or the inspectors got tougher or something, but there's some serious thrashing going on out in the pits right now. And we're roughly a half hour away from start time, and opening ceremony is getting ready to take off down there trackside. Everybody's getting ready to kick over to the Derby Tees feed for the live action. But any final thoughts here before we pack everything up here?
Just love Bash for Cash, man. I love the cars. I love the atmosphere. This is definitely big time derbying right here. I can't wait to see it start.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We're just about ready to sign off here. We'll be back again with you tomorrow a couple times through the course of the day. We're going to try and get you some stuff with the RC Derbies. I'm not sure if it's going to happen tonight. Most likely we'll be able to set that up with a little bit more ease tomorrow. But that's going to do it for us from Inspection Line for now. Live action ready to come to you here pretty quick from the 2016 Bash for Cash. Thanks for hanging out with us here. We are the Crash Course. We'll see you again soon. Whoops. Let's start that again. It won't restart. There it goes. All right, we're good now.
The Crash Course Podcast is brought to you in part by DerbyParts.com, Overkill Derby products at OverkillDerby.com, Boat Lockwood Motorsports, and the 2015 Keystone National, Sciopa Racing and SciopaRacing.com, Ultimate Derby and Blizzard Bash 2015, Demo Derby Master, Reckless Abandon Derby apparel at RecklessAbandonGear.com, and Derby Inc. magazine. Live it, breathe it, be it, Derby Inc. This is the Crash Course Demolition Derby Podcast.